Okay, all right, so we are back in, right now we are discussing nipple shields. Okay, nipple shield is this little piece right here. If you can see, it's kind of silicone-y. This is actually a Medela. These are what majority of hospital use is Medela products. So this one is 16 millimeters. So this is super small. I usually never use this for a patient, like almost ever, but this is just the one that I had on hand. But you want to make sure that it's got this little area that's kind of cut off, so where the nose can go. So if your football holds, it will go this way. If your cradle, it will go this way. Wherever the baby's nose is, you want to make sure that goes there. So nipple shields, they come in 4 different sizes. This is what I know from Medela. I don't know a lot of other brands. I've seen some of the pictures of the other brands and I'm not really a fan of the way they look. I've had one other mom use a different one that was a different brand and baby didn't really do well with it. So I do love the Medela nipple shield. So they come in 16 millimeter, 19 millimeter, 21 millimeter, and 24 millimeter. Okay, so basically you want to focus your nipple shield on your nipple size. Okay, so don't base it off your areola size or your breast size. It's clearly just based off your nipple size. So the whole point, if you can see this, it's about an inch of clear plastic. So the whole point is you want to try and suck your nipple into this space so it's taking up some of the space, and then your colostrum doesn't have a long, colostrum or breast milk doesn't have a long way to go out through the holes. And there's 4 holes right in the top, and it should create a negative pressure seal on the breast. Okay, some of the few reasons why I love using nipple shields. Okay, preterm infants. What happens with preterm infants is they don't have a lot of cheek fat. Okay, so they don't have a lot of fat on their body to maintain that negative pressure seal on the breast. So this way, this nipple shield, when placed on the breast properly, helps them create that seal so that they can stay on the breast. Because what happens is they start to burn a lot of energy and a lot of calories trying to hold on to the breast while they breastfeed. So it's like double the calories. So what this is super important for preterm infants. So I definitely love that. I also love it for inverted nipples. Inverted or flat. Inverted, it can be a little tricky. But flat nipples, it can definitely be beneficial, can definitely help pull them out. So again, you wanna place it properly, which I'm gonna show you a video of how to apply it properly. It's kind of hard because it's not working. It's not working on my breast model here. I think because of the plastic, it's just not creating a suction seal to show you the right way. But basically what you wanna do is you wanna flip it back like a hat. See that? You wanna flip it back like a hat and then put it over the nipple and then have it suction in the nipple right here. You just don't want to place it on the breast. If you just place it on the breast, it beats the whole purpose. So you don't want to do that. You want to fold it back like a hat and then you want to press it on that way. That way it suctions in your nipple and it creates that negative pressure seal so they can hold on. And when they breastfeed, it's going to pull that colostrum as if they had that negative pressure seal with their mouth. So you want to make sure you have proper placement as well. So it's really good for that. This is also my other favorite reason for using nipple shields is that the baby can't maintain a latch and they're super uncoordinated. So what I say for this is I've had some babies a lot lately that are full-term infants and they're just kind of a little uncoordinated, a little confused. And what happens is they get on the breast. Mom has great anatomy too, so there's nothing wrong with that. They get on the breast and then they slip off and fall off. Get on the breast and slip off and fall off. And they just like can't make that seal around the breast. And they're trying and trying. And usually I'll make sure we like try for at least, I keep drawing my marker, like 5 to 10 minutes before I introduce a nipple shield. The best thing you want to do is have the baby on the bare breast. Now, the other downside for nipple shield is it decreases nipple stimulation, okay? So anytime decreases nipple stimulation, it is also for short-term use only. You do not want to use a nipple shield for long-term. I've heard horror stories of some moms being like, oh my gosh, I am not using a nipple shield. I ended up having to use a nipple shield for my baby for 9 months and da 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 da. I'm like, well, huge lack of education there, whatever they were told, and I feel horrible because it's really hard to break those limiting beliefs, those stories that happened to them that were very personal, and because then they can't see the true resource that it can be and how helpful it can be, just even if it's just for a few feedings to kind of get the baby on track. I've used that for it too. So when you do use a nipple shield, anytime you are using a nipple shield though, you want to pump. You want to pump after each feeding, because you're not doing direct nipple stimulation. There's a piece of plastic in between your breast and the baby's mouth. So they're not directly on the breast and stimulating that nipple and that breast with their tongue and their mouth and the saliva, and that's how some of your breast milk changes. So you do want to pump after each feeding for just like 15-20 minutes, so you can stimulate your breast enough to still have your milk supply come in. But again, like I said, it's so short-term use. You might not need it every feeding. Maybe you just need it for like the first 3 or 4 feedings to get your baby coordinated, do some suck training, and really get that baby on there and learning how to maintain that seal on the breast, okay? What's the other important thing with nipple shields? They are hard to find. They're a little tricky. You just want to wash after use with some warm, soapy, non-toxic water. Wash after use. I just love like the Dr. Bronner, as I said in another video, the Dr. Bronner's baby fragrance-free soap, or even just the 7th generation fragrance-free dish soap is really good. But you want to wash that after use and continue using that. But really, it is a really great tool. There's been some babies that I've been able to only use it once or twice, and then boom, it clicked in their mind and they were able to get off of it. You also want to make sure when you're trying to get off the nipple shield, think about anytime it's like riding a bike, okay? When you're riding a bike, it might take you 10 to 15 times before you get on that bike and you can ride without falling over or falling off. Same thing with a nipple shield. If your baby gets attached using to the nipple shield and you're trying to get rid of the nipple shield, which that is the end goal. The end goal is to not use the nipple shield. End goal is to be on the bare breast. Okay? This is just a tool. This is a tool only. Okay? It's not a long-term thing. Okay? So you want to, the main goal is to get off the bare breast. So it can take a few days of retraining your baby, just like riding a bike, a new skill of trying to get off the nipple shield. So you want to try and latch for, I say about 5 minutes. Let your baby get a good rhythm. You kind of see swallows happening, good rhythm, and then basically you want to pull it out real quick and then relatch without. Okay, so this can be really tricky. Basically, you have the nipple shield on, okay, you have your baby on, you're breastfeeding, it's been like 5 minutes. Now you know like they're really pulling colostrum or breast milk, or you've already had a letdown and you've had a couple of things and baby's doing good. So now what you're gonna do is you're gonna try and just pop them off, take it, try and sandwich your breast for them, support them, and then just try and get them on that same spot. Sometimes if you do it quick enough, they don't even remember that it's missing. Okay, now if you have very flat nipples or kind of inverted, it might be a little trickier, but just stay with it. It is possible to breastfeed without nipples and without a nipple shield. Your baby just has to get used to something new. So it's like taking your training wheels off of a bike. You were used to that steady balance. You were used to that extra support, that extra tool. The things on the bike, the training wheels. This is basically like a training wheel. It's a tool. You're not gonna ride a bike with training wheels until you're an adult. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do it long term. So use it as a tool. So get it on there and make sure it's sealed properly. Suction that nipple in and try and get your baby off of it. It really is super helpful, especially like with preterm infants, and if they can't maintain that latch. Even when I'm using it, if a baby can't maintain that latch, I usually only tell them to try and use it for like 2 to 3 feedings, and every time to still try the bare breast. If you're using a nipple shield, before you even put it on, try the bare breast. Your baby might just all of a sudden get it and you don't need it, and that's fantastic. That is the end goal. It's a tool, and the end goal is to bare breast. And like I said, you do want to pump after each feeding if you are using a nipple shield for extra stimulation to properly have your milk come in. I did actually use a nipple shield for my first one. This can be another reason, kind of another reason off of this is severe nipple pain and damage. I didn't know my son had a severe posterior tongue tie and lip tie, and my nipples were bleeding and sore and red and had blisters, and it was horrendous. This was before I knew he had a lip and tongue tie, okay? And but my second lactation nurse that I finally saw literally gave me a nipple shield and just said, okay, looks like you're just gonna have to use a nipple shield. That was the first time I got my son latch on the breast, because I kind of have flat nipples. Like they come out with stimulation, but otherwise they look kind of flat, and I was having problems like latching him. So with the nipple shield, it really helped with that. But then if I tried to latch him without it, when I was trying to get him off the nipple shield, it was like severe excruciating pain. I was like, what is the issue? So definitely watch the lip and tongue tie video, because I'll go more into that story and what that was. But the nipple shield can also be really great to help give you a barrier while you're getting the lip and tongue tie fixed, or figuring out what your new plan is with that, is that you can use the nipple shield to kind of give you a little bit of a barrier. But remember, it's still going to be painful and a little bit sore. It shouldn't be as painful as bare breast, but it might still be a little sore if they already did a lot of damage. If you feel like they're starting to do a lot of damage, use the nipple shield sooner, because the main goal is you still want to try and put them to the breast each time with triple feeding. But if you can't handle them and it's too much, then just pump if you can, or hand express. But you can definitely use it if you've had some damaged nipples, and try and heal those and give your nipples and breasts a little bit of a break while you're getting figuring out what the root cause of that issue was. Okay, so definitely four different sizes. You want to make sure there's not too much room inside the nipple shield. I see this all the time at work, is that these moms have like a small nipple but a large areola, and the nurse is giving them a 24 millimeter, and it's like this wide at the base. Like the base should be just around the base of your nipple, okay? And so you want to make sure you have the proper size. If you feel like you don't have the proper size, ask for a different size. Usually all the hospitals give these for free, okay? So this can be a really great tool. Preterm infants, great for inverted flat nipples. If they keep slipping off, and they can't maintain that latch, that negative pressure seal, this is great. Nipple pain and damage, it definitely decreases nipple stimulation, so you want to pump. It's for short term only. The end goal is to get them on the bare breast. You want to pump after each time, wash after each use, and to try and get them off the nipple shield is latch for 5 minutes, pull it out, and then try and relatch. And you want to keep trying that, okay, until eventually they can get off of it. And that is the end goal. So it is a short-term tool. It is not long-term, but I love them. I love nipple shields because they really help as a great training tool. Like just like anything with training, they are like the training wheels on a bike. They literally help support you and support the baby until they can figure it out, and then you start taking them away, and then eventually they're just gonna get it. They're gonna pick it up. All right, so that's nipple shields. If you have any other additional questions on that, feel free to message me directly, or hop onto the Facebook group and ask any questions regarding nipple shields, or go watch the tongue and lip tie video too if you have additional questions about that, because that can be super helpful as well. And I hope you have a good day.